I'd like to, before you ask questions, well, let me say this ahead of time. Almost any question is appropriate, so don't worry about what you might ask me. So you set the agenda, and it doesn't even have to be about ethanol, even though you're here. I visit every county every year. I think most of you folks know that. And a lot of times I go to your library or your courthouse or your city administration building in this county, and anybody can come in. But I like to meet with people that maybe can't get off work to come to an open town meeting, so I go other places like maybe 10 to 15 high schools a year, because you never get 18-year-olds to come to your town meetings, and you never get factory workers that are on an assembly line. So I've had maybe 3 or 4 manufacturing plants this week where they shut down the assembly line and let me answer questions for them. So we're doing that here because maybe even though some of you could come to my town meetings, maybe most of you couldn't. So any issue you want to bring up is appropriate. Oh, let me say one other thing, because this is the best way to have dialogue with your constituents, but it's not the only way. So email me when you can't see me face to face. Who wants to be first? Yes.
I'd like to know who you work for.
What?
Who do you work for?
The people of Iowa.
You know, I have never had any problems with any presidents. You know, no matter what, you know, where their views were,
Can
whatever.
you come a little closer?
No matter what their views were and stuff, you know, presidents, you know, I never had any problems. Why are we spending over $72 million so far in 19 months for somebody to go golfing every weekend? And just the discourse that is going on, you know, attacking you guys, attacking the press, attacking the law, you know. Why don't you guys stand up? You're not up for re-election this year. Why don't you guys stand up to him and say, enough? You know, do you know what happened over with this little meeting with Putin? Does anybody know what they said? You know, because that concerns everybody.
I think, for instance, on the issue of tariffs, I've stood up very strongly to the President of the United States and said that it's very fearful. I've stood up to him when he said that the Mueller investigation ought to end. I was quoted in the Washington Post as saying something like this, because we're always asked, do we think the Mueller investigation ought to end like the President said? And I said, no, let it play out.
Yeah.
And my advice, I think I even said some advice to the President. There doesn't seem to be any evidence whatsoever that Mueller's come out with that there's collusion between you and Russia. No evidence. So I said, as long as you're winning, what do you complain about? Just let it play out. And then I even was quoted in the Washington Post as saying that the less he said about it, the stronger his presidency would be. So that's kind of the way I look at it. On the other hand, you're asking me about what I should do towards the president.
Well,
Don't forget, I've got a full-time job,
yeah.
just representing the people of Iowa, and I'm in a separate branch of government.
Yeah.
Like somebody from the press may say, well, what do you think about the president's tweet? I can't keep on top of the president's tweets, so don't ask me about it. Ask me what I think about something. See, that's what I like to tell them. Yeah.
But you guys, I mean, as a whole, you know, it seems like everybody's just like, you know, John McCain's, you know, and those guys, you know, but it's just like, Lindsey Graham was not bad, and it's just like, all of a sudden, it's just like, there's nothing. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you guys are supposed to keep the president in check. That's part, you know, and stuff, and it just seems to me like he is just trying to destroy the Constitution.
Yes. Well, you don't have to worry about a president destroying the Constitution. I heard that when Nixon was president, and everybody said, well, the military is going to take over Washington, D.C. It never happened. as long as we got three branches of government. See, you gotta remember our history, why we had the Revolutionary War, because one person, George III, was denying the colonists their constitutional rights that people in London could have. So we wrote a constitution where one person doesn't have the power